classic punch recipe really would be a very simple thing for you to remember, which is 1 part sour to 1 part sweet, 4 parts strong to 6 parts weak. So it all becomes like a children's rhyme. The first ingredient you need to add to your bowl is the sugar. And again, you can use any type of sugar at all. The next important ingredient is really the oils out of all of this citrus. You want to take the peel off of all of this citrus, but you want to do it so that you do not impart the bitterness of the pith. Take your paring knife and just slice down the whole length of the fruit. Now another easier way, faster way of doing this is use one of these Y peelers, and they tend to give you a nice thin peel. Now I'm going to take the peel off of all of this fruit, but I'm going to save the fruit on the side because later I'm going to use the juice in that as part of this punch. Okay, so now we've taken all of that zest off of the fruit, and now we want to press those fruit peels into that rough sugar, because what that's going to do is really burst those little cells that you see on the skin that are so filled and fragrant with oil. We really want to let this sit for a half an hour to an hour. So we're going to put this aside, and while that's resting, we're going to juice our citrus fruit. And we're just going to cut the citrus in half, and with our hands, we're going to squeeze as much of that juice out as we can. Our peels have been sitting and resting. So we've got our tea hot. It doesn't need to be boiling hot, just warm helps to melt the sugar. So what we're going to put in here is 3 of the wheat, because we're going to put 3 more of another wheat in there, giving our 6 of wheat. That heat and that liquid is going to dissolve the sugar. And what we need to do with this now is we're going to filter out all of these citrus peels that you have in there. And right back in that same bowl goes the tea, the sugar, and all of that oil from the citrus. Next, what we're going to add is that strained citrus juice. And now what we have here is really the base and the foundation, which you can, if you want, just take this and refrigerate it, use it later in the day, introduce the spirits later. I think that the spirits and the juices hanging out for a while actually builds the character to the punch. But this is what they would call a sherbet back in the day, which is all of the non-alcoholic ingredients together. So in this, we're going to use both the rum and the applejack, and we're going to split it evenly. And I encourage you to taste at every step of this process. That's perfect. I can drink it just like that. I can drink that at room temperature. I think that's fantastic. And traditionally, it probably would have been room temperature. But the next thing that we're going to introduce actually is ice. I brought with me some 2-inch cubes. Not only does it look fantastic, but again, it's going to control how fast these cubes melt. It's going to keep this punch cold longer. Really, it's ready to go like that, but there's a few other elements that I want to add here that are going to make the difference. So we're going to top this with some sparkling hard cider. I'm just going to, at that moment when my guests have arrived, I'm going to go and add that effervescence so it's really sparkling when they have this. Great over the top of it, some fresh cinnamon. Then really a traditional flavor that you'll find in punch is nutmeg. I'm going to use some thin slices from that pink lemon, which nobody's seen before, and hopefully some people will ask me what it is, becomes part of the conversation. We're just going to put those slices of fruit right inside of our punch. And again, something seasonal that we happen to have, I think is great when you get a little bit of this into your cup, and the pop that comes from a pomegranate seed is fantastic. So there you have a really old beverage, seasonal, fresh, historical, something that really makes sense and really makes it easier for you as a host with a room full of people in a crowd is to make punch.